name is Lynn Karanja. I am one of the founders of the M-shauri movement, Be Informed, Then Inform. But today we're going to have a discussion with one of our panelists from the World Bipolar Day discussion. And her name is Mildred Adhiambo. She is one of those people who are passionate about mental health. Her passion is mostly on creating awareness and advocacy for mental health. So Mildred, tell us more about yourself.
Yeah, I am Mildred and I am a freelance psychologist. I see patients sometimes on the side in restaurants or even at the comfort of their homes, just to try and eliminate the monotony of being in a hospital setting, because I feel like they're more comfortable there. So yeah, some I see free of charge if they're not able to afford therapy, and some I charge them.
How is it working in the field of mental health?
Wow, working in the field it can be exhausting in all honesty, and very draining, because you get to talk to people who are going through a lot. Sometimes you see yourself in them, things that you have gone through, things that they are currently going through. So it can be burdening, but at the same time very satisfying, because after you've helped them process it and go through the whole experience and get better, like when they just come back and tell you thank you, that enough is very satisfying. So I'd say that I love it. Yeah, it's a good thing. I love it.
So it's always said that a doctor can be sick and still go cure someone else. An engineer can have issues with electricity at their own house and still go fix electricity at someone else's place. But a psychologist or a psychotherapist cannot heal another person when they themselves are wounded. Yeah. So what can you say about that?
I think that's one of the major lessons I've learned this far from the time I started practicing, is that even as a psychologist, it is okay for you to not be okay and to actually admit that you're not okay. And you cannot be your own psychologist. Like when you're going through something or you've gone through stuff in the past, you need to go get personal therapy yourself before you start seeing other clients. Because you find a lot of psychologists or people in the mental health field who are even on antidepressants. Like I've had several people who I know who are on antidepressants, and they even go for therapy. And they waited for so long before they sought help. That's why they are at the point where they are. So it is very, very important for me as a psychologist and even other people in the mental health field to actually get constant debriefing sessions where you go talk about the clients you've had. What are the challenges you've gone through with them? How have you processed? You don't let their troubles get to you and burden you. So constant debriefing and even constant personal therapy with another therapist. Don't just say that, I'm in the field so I can do it on my own. I can just be my own therapist. So yeah.
So for psychologists, it's okay to be on the other side of the table.
Yes,
and
yes,
I know that's one of the challenges we face.
Oh yes.
And you also mentioned about being young, counting that you're very young and all the challenges that you face. So how do you deal with it? How do you manage it as a challenge to you?
Well, I cannot do anything about my age or how I look, my appearance, But another thing that I've learned is you dress the way you'd want to be addressed, So you try, I actually try and dress very officially, It tries to cover the fact that, that I'm still young and all. So even when someone sees me, they'll see a professional and not just a young person, So yeah, I think that's what I do, and then I just make it clear that I'm the professional here, and I am in a position to help you if you give me the chance. So far, even with the elderly clients I've gotten, at first it's a bit hard, but now once I tell them what I'm able to do for them, during our first or second session, they actually ease in and they open up, and we're able to continue with the therapy till the end.
And one thing I've also noticed is, as you've mentioned, assuring them of the professionalism and the services they'll get. Because
yes.
that is where the issues come in. And especially in African culture, it's awkward, an older person going to a younger person. So it also has a cultural background to it.
Oh, yeah.
And also another thing is engaging them in the process. And counseling is not you. It's not a psychologist, as you've mentioned.
That's true.
It's more so them. And that's why you've brought about the fact of them allowing you to help them.
Yeah, you can only help someone who wants the help, and they acknowledge that, I need this help and I want to be helped. You cannot just take someone randomly and tell them, I can help you, so let me help. You cannot force therapy on them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also, counting that you are very passionate about it. So what's your motivation in the mental health field?
My motivation is actually to help people around me become wholesome. just get to this point where they are okay mentally, physically, spiritually, emotional, basically in all aspects, So that's why I'm very passionate about activism and even helping people who are not even able to access or afford these services. We get to this point where we do not have like a lot of young people dying of depression, dying of suicide, or a lot of young ones getting into alcohol and all, because they actually do not acknowledge that they're not okay mentally, and that they can actually go and get external help that is outside like the comfort of their friends or their family and all. So yeah, I think that is my biggest motivation, just getting people to this point where they're okay mentally, physically, and in all aspects. Yeah, and just making them functional human beings.
So Mildred, one of the things you've said is that there's been a lot of cases of suicide, alcohol dependency, drugs dependency, and of late we're seeing a lot of cases on intimate partner violence. So what more do you think can be done in the mental health field?
I think the government should actually be more involved, not just like the central government, but even the county government. You'll find that uko hivyo mashinani, like deep in the rural areas, there are very limited places where you can actually access mental health. It's like mental health has been just centralized in urban areas, like in Nairobi, in major towns and cities. That's where like getting access to these services are easy. But when you go to like uko hivyo, the rural areas, it's very, very rare for you to find that there's maybe a specialist, someone who is specifically in the mental health field. It's very, very hard. So I think a lot of community involvement should be done, even through the community health volunteers. We should get like constant trainings on matters, on how to deal with things like depression, on how to deal with attempted suicides, and even where they can actually refer the patients to get professional services. So I think the government should be more involved in that, even us as professionals.
Yes. And aside from the government and the professions, what can we do as lay people? I mean, I think mental health is all of us.
Yes.
It's not just government healthcare providers, it's all of us. So what also can we do as women?
I think try and form authentic friendships, just friendships or relationships which are beyond the superficial, not just you guys coming together, hanging out, just having fun, but even being there for your friend when they're at their lowest, like when you see that they are extremely low, even be the person to tell them that, like at this point you need to get professional services. So I think like we can actually do better as human beings in terms of like your family relationships, your friendships, your intimate relationships. Make sure that they're very authentic, where you're able to like freely express yourself and speak your truth to them without being judged. We come from families where even our parents don't understand, like when you tell them that, daddy or mommy, at this point I have no strength to get out of bed, they might actually say that you're lazy, not knowing that maybe you're actually depressed. So I think like a lot of awareness, from like the social media and even media, television, radio, just a lot of information giving out on what is mental health, like what is depression, at what point do we say that you're depressed, at what point are you supposed to get these services. Yeah, basically that.
So basically checking up on each other and
Yes,
getting
constantly.
to know people, because I'm assuming someone who's all of a sudden was vibrant,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden they withdrew.
They're dull, yeah.
So that's getting to know that kind of difference from your friends, because
Yes.
a lot of these suicide notes, if you've read them, they're saying that I was the life of the party.
Yes.
I was the one who was laughing the most. Everyone would look at me and they'd think I have no issue. And at the end of it all, 3 months later, they're no more.
Yes.
So basically getting to know each other and getting to know what we're going through.
Yeah, and also constantly check up on the friends that you think are strong, the ones who have your back. Like try and also find out how are you doing mentally, like in your work life, how are you doing? Because them, they seem like they're okay, but deep down you might find that they're just in crumbles, they're just in pieces. They just want someone to ask them, how are you, and actually mean it. So yeah, even constantly check up on the people that you feel are strong and they have like their things figured out.
Okay, thank you so much. And I like how you brought it out. Asking that question, how are you?
Yeah.
Most of the question is, what are you doing?
Yes.
And at times we'll tell you all these colorful answers,
Yes.
not how are you doing, and being
Or are you
genuine.
happy?
Yes.
That's another thing. Are you content with your life as it is?
And do people actually know what happiness is at this rate?
That is another topic on its own. Like what is happiness? It's very subjective.
Yes.
Like what defines your happiness?
So, what can you say as a last word to the people regarding mental health, mental wellness? being okay, it's okay not to be okay. What can you tell people about that?
I'd say that seeking professional help does not mean you're crazy. Like we should try and overcome this stigma that when you go to like a mental health institution, it means you're crazy. Like when you're diagnosed with bipolar, it means that you're crazy. So I'd say that it is okay not to be okay, and it is actually okay to go to like a professional to seek help. And yeah, basically that seeking help does not mean that you're crazy.
So one of the things that came about from the discussion we had is that there's a need for authentic friendship. And that one is very, very key, especially keeping aside the professional help. What can we do for each other? Like even for ourselves. Just let's start with ourselves first before we go to the friends. Ourselves, what can we do for ourselves to ensure our own mental wellness?
I think with regards to authentic friendship, it's more about honesty and open communication. Like how free are you with your friends? Are you able to like call them in the middle of the night, perhaps, and just tell them that, but you know what, I'm not in a good place, I need to talk to someone, and are they going to respond in a way that, you know what, I can like put everything aside for you? You see, because I realize that a lot of friendships are very superficial. It's just about we come together, have a good time, go out, go on nature walks, just talk about the good side and not about the ugly side. Some are even scared that their friends might actually judge them and stop being their friends just because of the amount of things they're going through in their lives. So I think authentic friendship is basically about honesty and open communication.
Yes, and you brought about that part about thinking that your friends will judge you.
Yeah.
And I think that's what holds us back from even talking. Because personally, I don't think I can go and say, hey, by the way, today I've had a bad day.
Yeah.
Like, how many people can genuinely say that? How many people can come open and say, I'm not in a good place, I don't feel like eating, I don't even feel like getting out of bed?
Yes.
And I think what you said about that openness, we're not open people.
Yeah.
We've been taught to
hold it in. Yeah, the African way. Yes.
And even nowadays we say mwanamume ni kuvumilia.
Yes.
And it's even gone to women. So sisi wote ni wa kuvumilia.
Like it's like the woman is the one who holds the house. Like when the house is in chaos, you're not allowed to see because you're airing out. You're putting the family business out there.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's actually very, very important for you to talk.
Yeah.
Just talking.
So it's just talking and releasing it. Basically find a way of releasing.
Yes.
And aside from talking, what else can we do? When I'm alone and I just want that alone moment, what else can I do?
Like do things you enjoy doing. If you love reading, get a book, read. If you love writing, write about literally anything and everything. If you prefer an outdoor area like this, just go for a walk, go alone. You don't even have to go with someone else. Just take time out away from like your busy schedule, your work, your school life and everything. Just take time out.